welcome back to Old Mill Homestead. So this is a two-part video today. I wanted to do one single video just showing the biscuits, but what we're making is chicken pot pie with biscuits on top. So I've had chicken in the crock pot all day. I'm coming off caffeine, and so I've had a massive headache and just didn't feel like messing with the chicken today. So I did the easy way, put it in the crock pot. So what I post as far as the recipe down below is going to be different than what I actually did, but it typically is. So the chicken is ready. It's been cooking. I've got it on low, just finishing up, and we're going to get the rest of the ingredients started. So let's go. So I've had the chicken in chicken broth, just getting nice and tender. I'm just going to, I think it says cube it up for the recipe. I'm just going to slice it up. I would prefer kind of a shredded chicken in there. I'm also changing the recipe as far as adding mushrooms. Nick likes mushrooms, I do not. And my peas and carrots are frozen in a bag together. So it calls to add onion to a skillet, warm it up. I don't have that. I've got some onion powder, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of onion powder, and then I've got my chicken shredded in here. Now you can see a little better. So the chicken and the onion powder, and then it says stir in flour. So we need 2 cups of flour. So we're just gonna do this finish it off so I'm not creating a second bowl in the, in here, drawing a blank. In here, we're just gonna finish it off, and then we'll transfer it to the dish that we're gonna end up putting it in the oven. So we've got our flour. Actually, the more I think about it, because it does say to bring this to a boil, so we are gonna have to transfer this over to a different pot. I'm just gonna use my cast iron. Let me grease that. I hate to mess up another thing, but the flour needs to cook down, so. Okay, so I got it transferred over. We need to start adding our chicken broth in. I hope this is big enough. Then it wants us to add in some milk. So we're gonna add in a little bit of milk. That should work. And then, so it wants us to gradually kind of get all of this combined. Like I said, I hope my pot is big enough because I still have stuff I need to add in here. But we're supposed to bring this to a boil first. So let me get this boiling and we'll be right back. Okay, we're starting to get a little bit of a simmer or boil. I have the oven preheated on 400. I have my pan here already greased to transfer this in. It doesn't say anything about adding pepper, but I am gonna add some pepper to it. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. It does say to add salt. So we're gonna add salt. And then I'm just gonna kind of stir that in. It is good to watch this. I wouldn't walk away from it. We're gonna go ahead and add, I just have some frozen Greenwise organic peas and carrots. We're just gonna add those on top. It does call for frozen frozen peas, but it calls for fresh carrots and mushrooms. Like I said, I do not like mushrooms, and so we are not having mushrooms. And then we're just gonna let this cook thoroughly, and then we're gonna transfer it over to our other pan. While that's cooking, I'm gonna get the kitchen all cleaned up. We're gonna put our biscuits on top. We're gonna hope for the best. Fingers crossed, right? We're gonna hope for the best. So that looks pretty good to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. I'm gonna bring this pan over to me. I think it'll be a little easier trying to transfer it if I've got the pan closer to me. So I think it's good and mixed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lay this in the pan to the best of my ability. It looks good. Now you can make this all different kinds of ways. This is just the recipe that I found, and like I showed you and told you, I have changed that recipe some. I still think it should be really, really good. I'm not worried about that per se. The biscuits, I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit worried about the biscuits. So, I mean, as you know, the biscuits make me nervous because I'm not good at cooking biscuits. It's a learning process. I'm still learning. I haven't quit. I haven't given up. I'm still learning, but to say that I'm comfortable with it would be a big fat lie. So let me grab the biscuits. Like I said, I've had our oven preheating this whole time to 400, and it says not to cook these. So I'm just gonna lay them on top. I might kind of pull this one apart just a little bit because it was kind of the makeshift one that I made so that I can fit. That actually worked out perfect, the number that I made. So there we go with that. Let me show what that looks like. I think we're good. So I was rereading the recipe. That's kind of what it looks like. I know it's not perfect, but I'm not perfect. I'm learning progress. So let's get this in the oven. It's gonna go in 400 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes, and I will keep a check on it. Hey Siri, set a timer for 15 minutes, please.
15 minutes, counting down.
Okay, got my timer going, 15-minute timer. I'm gonna get some of this mess cleaned up. Nick is on the way home. Dinner's in the oven. I'm pretty excited. Hair's everywhere. I'm pretty excited. We'll see how it turns out. Fingers crossed it's good. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what we'll do for dinner, but we're gonna give it the old good try. We'll be back when we're ready. Okay, so our timer just went off and it looks good from here. So we're gonna take it out and take a look at it and see how it looks. It actually did take the full 20 minutes. So let's swing down and take a look. Look at that. Look at those biscuits. They're not hockey pucks. There it is, our chicken pot pie with biscuits. That's the best looking biscuit that I've ever made, just to let you know. I hope it tastes well. I'll let you know in the video description or in the video comment or scrolling through the screen. I'll let you know how it tastes, but that is it for the chicken pot pie.